I don't even know where to start this. How do you even start this thing? Hi, my name is Harris, and on this channel, I give advice for aspiring streamers. I really like this change in lighting, by the way. I think it's the way we need to go. I feel at least slightly justified in sharing advice to streamers because, well, one, I've been a full-time content creator for 5 years. I've built followings of over 2 million people on accounts, well, prior to this one, and I've made income on just about every single social media platform, including Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and YouTube. Another reason I feel justified is I don't charge anything. This is all free. If you don't like my advice, you can just, go watch something else. We're good. Not gonna hurt my feelings. I know that kind of sounds like a weird flex. I'm very self-aware of it. That's not the whole point of the stuff I just said. The whole point of the stuff I just said is just so I'm just trying to help any new viewers understand that there might be at least a little bit of validity behind anything that I say. I'm not saying I'm smart, I'm just saying I'm relatively experienced. Two totally different things. But I've been doing advice videos on this channel for about a year or two or whatever now, and there are a couple things that I feel like at this point they kind of need to be addressed. The more this channel grows, the more people start pushing the same comments, and I feel like let's talk. We're gonna have a little bit of a heart-to-heart here on some of these issues that you guys have in the comments, because oftentimes the things that you say are right, but they're not right. Right? Like, a lot of people are nitpicking at trees, and while it's a fair nitpick, you gotta step back and you gotta see the whole forest. So let's talk about the forest real quick. Here are 3 things that if you're going to pursue a career in streaming, you're going to be looking up any advice from me or anyone else. These are good for you to know. And always remember, always. Number 1, sometimes you shouldn't listen to me. Starting off with some pretty hefty seppuku here. At this point, we're getting hundreds of thousands of people watching these videos. I'm going to give a piece of advice and somebody's not going to like it. Most of the time, I could argue with the person. Sometimes it's totally fair. One of the most common ones I get is when I say, yes, you should use a webcam. I will get tweets or comments almost every day about people talking about why they think it's stupid that I say you should use a webcam. Let's talk about that. Look, there are a handful of streamers out there that might be better without a webcam. If you can get creative, or maybe your personality works better without a camera, or you can find ways to have some kind of animated avatar, or maybe the mystery behind your face is alluring enough, and you're able to make up for it with personality that turns into like your brand. Look, I know there are exceptions to the rule. There are exceptions to every rule that I give, but I want to make something clear. These videos are for large amounts of people, lots of aspiring streamers. There are going to be exceptions to every rule, but I can't make videos on every single exception. This is where you come in, because I trust you guys, and I know most of you are incredibly smart, okay? What I would like you to do when you watch these videos is use that little noodle of yours, all right? I don't want you to just follow what I say like a sheep. I want you to take what I say, digest it, think critically about it, and think, does this apply to me? Because maybe this doesn't apply to me. Maybe there's a good reason that I'm an exception to this rule. And if you are, then fantastic. Do you think I'm judging you for not following my advice? You know what I would love more than anything? I would love one of you guys to do the opposite of what I say and absolutely just crush it. That would be such a learning experience for me. I am not right all of the time, but I am right a lot of the time. So if you don't have a conviction towards something, do what I say, try it, maybe experiment a little bit, and maybe find out that this one thing of the sea of all the things that you try to do, maybe this one thing you need to tweak and do something different. Just really just trying to sum it down, just think critically and recognize when advice applies to you and when it doesn't. I'm not omnipotent, can't give advice for everybody, so, be the critical, smart person that you are. I believe in you. Number 2 is a little bit of a toughie, but you need to know this. Now that these videos are reaching a lot more people than they were just a couple months ago, I get a lot of comments saying the same thing, and they're generally pretty angry with me. There are a lot of people disheartened by some of the strategies that I share, by some of the things that I say about how you not only have to stream, but you also have to make content outside of Twitch. You have to learn to edit videos for YouTube and Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok. The best way to grow on Twitch right now is to make content on other platforms that are more discoverable and bring them over. Every once in a while, I'll get a really upset comment from someone who says something like, so what you're saying is if I just stream, it's a giant waste of my time. I have a job, I have a life, I only have time to stream 4 to 5 hours a week, and you're saying that I'm never gonna make it. I wanna point something out to you that shouldn't have to be discouraging. It should, if anything, be motivating. This is not a standard 9-to-5 job. This is a dream job. You get to stream, create content, be creative, and make things for a living, and all the while play video games. If you expect to sit down 4 to 5 hours a week and play video games and suddenly get a 6-figure paycheck every year for doing that, it's not gonna happen. And again, apply rule number 1 to this because sometimes that happens to people. Probably not you, not me either. So let's talk about the realistic approach. This is a dream job, much like being a doctor or an engineer is for other people. And those doctors and engineers bust their butts for years going to school, receiving an education, investing thousands in their education. And if you think you're going to get that great of a job by playing 4 to 5 hours of video games a week, it's not gonna be you. Almost every single stream I get someone coming in saying, well, what do I do if I'm unable to make YouTube videos? And I'll usually ask them, why aren't you able to make YouTube videos? And they say, because I don't know how to edit videos. That's like a doctor saying, how am I supposed to be a doctor if I'm unable to perform surgery? But the reason I'm unable to perform surgery is because I don't know how to perform surgery. You learn how to perform surgery. I feel like it looks like I'm getting heated up. I'm just trying to emphasize here. If you want this to become your career, you're going to have to learn at least simple editing techniques, how to make a thumbnail, how to use the YouTube algorithm. There's YouTube videos on all these things, by the way. This is all free education you can find. Invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge and in your skills. Become a greater, more rounded person. I promise you, it is entirely worth it. And for the people who say I only have 4 to 5 hours a week, usually if I ask, well, what do you do on the weekends? Well, I go out to bars or I go out to clubs. Why? Which one is more important to you? Stop doing those things. If you have to decide which one you want more, then it's on you. What's more important, your dream job or binge watching the latest series on Crunchyroll? You have to give up one. Unfortunately, most people give up the dream job. It's just the way it is. It's hard. Which brings us to number 3, kind of piggybacking off that last number 2. This job is very hard. It's not gonna fall in your lap. Twitch doesn't owe you success. The world, the universe doesn't owe you success. Twitch is incredibly hard to grow on, and that should get you excited. When you think about how easy it is to give up, I want you to think about how every single other streamer in your position is feeling that exact same pain, that exact same desire to give up. You don't have to be 10 times better than all those other streamers. All you have to be is 5% better. Just a tiny bit better than all those people who are struggling. Twitch is difficult, which means the bar for success is incredibly low. It's gonna take work to climb 5% above that bar. But because it's hard for you, it's hard for everybody else. Take advantage of that and work just a tiny bit harder, work a tiny bit smarter, strategize just a tiny bit more. That's all it takes. I actually had a conversation with a partner manager at Mixer this weekend. I wanted to get a connection with someone over there. And she originally said, if you look at streams, every single streamer is different. I said, no, they're not. Have you ever browsed through the 0 to 5 viewer streams? Everybody is exactly the same. They're sitting there silently playing video games. That is the best news you could possibly hear. That means you have to just do something slightly different to stand out. Think about what that thing is. Spend some time. Go on walks in your neighborhood at midnight, unless you live in like Detroit or something. Then don't do that. But if you live in a safe neighborhood, go on some walks at night. Think about it. Think about who you are. Think about why your friends like being around you. What about you is your strength that makes people want to be your friends? Maybe it's your love of board games. Maybe you and your friends bond over being fans of something together. I don't care what it is. Think about what makes people want to be around you and figure out how you can exemplify that on your stream. Is exemplify the right word there? I feel like exemplify is the right word there. We're going to go with exemplify that. Find a way to stand out 5% more than everybody else. That's all it takes. Look, guys, if you have any deep-rooted questions about advice on the internet or about growing your channel, about any of these things, I love these conversations. I love being real with you guys. Feel free to jump into my stream. Let's talk about it. I start off every stream with an hour or two of just chatting so we can discuss these things. Let's get weird together. Not too weird, but just like mostly weird. There's a line, and sometimes I'm okay if it gets crossed a tiny bit, like you tiptoe over it. The point I'm saying is, come in, let's talk. Link down below. Also join the Alpha Gaming Discord. We have like 30,000 people in there asking the same questions. Make some friends, find some people to join the journey with you. Camaraderie is an awesome tool. And as always, happy streaming.